coming to you from Freedom Land Studios in Texas. This is the Chuck and Z Show. And now, here's Chuck and Z.
Well, do you have a shot nearby, Miss Producer Chaos?
I have a cup.
All right. Turn your cup up. Cheers.
Cheers. First show of 2025.
Hi, guys.
Hola.
Well, Sharon, thank you so much for joining this show. It's been a while.
It has been a minute. I'm trying to think of when the last one was. Probably, I don't know, 8 months ago? 9
July?
months ago?
Something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But I did get to see you all in December, which was very fun because we were able to go to New Orleans for a fellow rider, Lita's rider of ours, Anna. It was her birthday.
Yeah, that was fun.
I felt really lucky to get to spend time with you guys like that. So
It was
I know.
It was a good time. I got a little sick in New Orleans.
you poor thing, yeah,
Some
you
food
did.
poisoning.
Yeah. Yeah, it was food
That was
poisoning. It was not fun. It was a rough time. But, that's the risk you take when you go to New Orleans. I mean, you can get
Really?
food poisoning just breathing.
Food poisoning, foot cancer.
That was always my thing about whenever you're in New Orleans, these people walking around with flip-flops on, you just got cancer. Walking down Bourbon
It's
Street.
a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to look like you were standing in weapons-grade chlorine for about 20 minutes.
Jeez. However, before you got sick, you were able to have some really fun dancing time at some of the clubs that we went to.
Oh,
Was it the
yeah.
first night that we were there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yes. What was it
It
called?
was cute.
I forget. I always forget what that name of that bar is.
Famous
Cat-
Door?
Famous Door.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Ocean, you ever been? By the way, with us producing tonight, since Producer Chaos is, 1,000 miles away? Something
Almost. Yeah.
All right.
like that? O-Town producing.
What's up? What's up?
So you don't want to pop on camera at all? Come on, man. You put that hair. You got to show it off.
It's been a minute since I've seen you, Ocean. It's been like a year.
Yeah, it has been a while. Just been working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sounds like John. John comes home. He's like, oh, so tired. Like, yeah, you're 22.
You're not old enough to be tired.
I don't remember
Yeah.
being exhausted at that age. I was just going nonstop. Like when I first moved to Georgia, I was 23, 24, something like that. And I was a branch manager, but I still I wanted to have fun in Atlanta, right? I moved to Atlanta. I think I went out every single night of the week doing something and would stay out late and then wake up in the morning, go to work, be on time to work, be early. Sometimes we had to do check-ins at different job sites. And so if I had a 6 a.m. morning check-in and I stayed out till 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm still getting up and going to work.
Yeah, I could do it back then.
Yeah.
Now, if it's Saturday, I get drunk. See you Thursday.
So sick.
I don't know.
Your liver has to recover. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it just takes so much out of me now. Like when I drink like I used to. I used to have a very strong constitution. I could drink a lot, but now, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. COVID.
Made the other one disappear.
COVID.
Huh?
I think I made one of them disappear. The 3.
Oh, pause.
Huh?
What happened?
I don't know. How you pause it?
Hold on.
No,
you're
you don't
good.
have to pause the recording.
I just can't see it from here.
I'm just telling Sharon, we're having technical difficulty. This is what happens when you take time off from doing this on a regular basis.
I know. It's a slight miracle that, honestly, that I was able to get my DSLR camera to work with my interface, to work with my microphone, to work with my computer, because I'm not using Ecamm. I'm using different software. And I'm like, what if Ecamm, which is Mac-based, what if that doesn't work with my Windows-based laptop? And, yeah, It was
Yeah.
stressful.
I bet.
And the wires. And the wires I have going on. And the lights.
like me now.
Yeah.
But I'm happy. At least it did work. And restarting my computer solved lots of problems.
Yeah.
Turning it off.
I
turning
know,
it back
right?
on.
It did. It did.
How
How have you been?
About to put my headphones on backwards.
You're so sweet to ask. I'm good. I'm happy to report that we went riding on Saturday. Which you want to wait until Chuck
He's here.
sits back there? Oh, hi,
Can you
Chuck.
see him?
Hola.
I
She's
see
not looking
just-
at us.
Oh, you can't see us.
I can only see Z. I can't
Oh.
see
Oh.
anybody else. But that's a nice picture.
Yeah. Hey.
Sorry.
So you went riding Saturday? Was it fun?
Yeah, so we have a new little girl gang group called Feral Moto, and I believe there are 30 some odd members, if I'm not mistaken.
Ex-leaders.
Yes, the ex-leaders who've kind of what it's like immigrated. I don't know how to say it. We just-
Migrated.
Migrated. That's it. Thanks. Migrated.
You're
and
welcome.
they created a group and I joined, and we had our first ride on Saturday and it was really fun. I haven't done a group ride in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I hadn't ridden much over the winter. I had lots of service done on Lolita, my
Sports.
my 96 Sportster 1200. So she has a new clutch in there now and 2 new head gasket repairs, and you know this bike is like duct
Oh my gosh.
tape. I'm just praying it'll hold on. I love
Sharon-
this bike.
Sharon's put $10,000.
In a free
And a
bike.
back one.
And a free
bike was
bike.
given for free. I know. Over, what was it, 5 years ago that I won this bike.
I can't
and
believe
had
it's
so
been
many
that long.
things.
Here, you throw this away for me.
What?
What?
Oh, stop. No.
I mean, that's basically what
talking about the bike.
it's like.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean? I can't
wait.
see you, Chuck. So I was
What?
like, what'd you just do?
What do we want to do with this bike that's about to just die or can't run? Or you know what? Let's give it to someone to throw away.
Let's put some really fun pipes on there.
Was that their very first bike giveaway?
Yes. It was their very first bike giveaway. It was a miracle I won it, too. It was
I
crazy.
know. So
I never
insane.
expected that. I remember where we were when I went online and bought a couple things, because you were wearing a really cool jacket when we were doing like our axe throwing event.
Mhm.
And I think I got like a pair of socks and then somehow won this bike. I don't know.
I bought a jacket and you
A sticker pack. Yeah, it was like the cheapest way for me to be able to, I don't know, enter, I guess. And it was really crazy. But when I had the Fat Boy, I didn't ride the Fat Boy as much as I rode the Sportster. I didn't enjoy the Fat Boy as much. It's a heavier bike. It's lowered because I'm so short that I couldn't lean as well and would scrape the pipes or scrape like the
pegs.
the pegs, yeah, but the footboards or whatever. It just, I loved the bike because it's like riding a Cadillac. It's just like so smooth and great, and a
Yeah.
big tank so I can ride longer. But if I had a choice, you know, and we weren't going on a very long ride, I always wanted to take the Sportster. It's just, I'm more nimble on it. It's a lighter bike. I have to stop and get gas a lot, but that's fine. But and the power, it's very powerful, and
Yeah.
it sounds great. So my heart is really tied to this bike, but I will say on camera and everything that if one more thing goes wrong with this bike, I've replaced everything on it. Everything on it is completely different. The engine had been rebuilt 2 years ago because it fell apart when I was riding. Do you guys remember
Yeah.
that story?
Yep.
And I mean, what else? We're knocking on wood. There's nothing else that could possibly go wrong with this bike, I believe.
Right.
But if it does, I can effectively say that we are going to trade it in for something else. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah. It's just,
Like,
I don't.
change something in my heart. Like, my heart will be like, okay, nope, it's too painful to keep this bike. I'm done. It'll be a
Yeah.
switch and it's over.
Yeah.
Like
if you
everything in
were,
my life.
stop. It would be different if you were a mechanic, right? And you, or worked on your bikes, right? And you had the time and all of that.
Yeah.
It's just, it's very time consuming. And then to be without a bike for
I know.
weeks on end while they repair it. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it was months of having it sit, which isn't a bad thing during the winter, but that we had some really beautiful days, surprisingly. And I live on a road where people ride right by on bikes, and I would hear them and go, yeah, that would have been a great day to ride. But happy to have it back and happy to have ridden on Saturday. And we started at Pops, which I'm sure you remember, Z. It's one of our favorite places. It's a Triumph dealership in Roswell, but it has a coffee shop associated with it. So we just met there, and then we rode into Marietta and had lunch at a restaurant. And being on a group ride, I think there were 17 of us, which was really nice. And
Nice.
I had a blast, and my heart was very happy, honestly. I was like, hooray, my new helmet and
What'd you get?
Bluetooth on. Oh gosh, I don't even remember. Were you there? No, you weren't there when I dropped my Shoei. Oh, I dropped it from like very far. It was on like the rear side mirror of my bike, and I just backed into it by mistake, and it landed super hard, and everyone that was there was like, ooh, that wasn't good. And that was the end of my Shoei helmet.
Well, I mean, you've had it over 5 years.
Yeah, I had it was about time anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this helmet, it's just kind of a basic helmet. I can't even remember the name of the brand or anything.
HJC or something.
Yeah, that's what it is, actually.
Oh,
Thanks,
look.
girl.
Look at that.
Look at that.
I know things.
There are only so many, I'm sure, so many brands. It's nice, but it was great to ride, and surprisingly as well that the pollen count was the highest it has ever been recorded. Oh my God. We're at the restaurant, and there are people suffering, and someone brought up their phone. They're like, oh my God, the news is saying this is the highest recorded pollen count we've ever had. I was like, yeah.
Lungs full of yellow cake.
That's one thing that I don't miss.
You don't have
the only thing.
The only thing you don't miss about Georgia. It's really bad right now. The wind was blowing earlier, and my pine trees, I just saw the sea of yellow. And I'm like, oh, no wonder. You can't be outside without really being affected by it in some ways. So our bikes were covered by the time we left the restaurant to go home. I was like, this is bad. But still fun to ride. It didn't affect me as hard, I say, as some people. But I was grateful to be able to be out like that. And I was looking through some of my photos recently, and I'm shocked at how much I used to ride all year round when you all were here. Because I have not ridden like that since you've, honestly, not to put pressure on you or make you feel bad or anything, but I have not ridden like that since you all left. I was like, gee, where did I go? I was always on the go on a bike.
I know.
And I guess
we feel the same way. Like, we haven't ridden like we used to ride at all. Like, I think before my back injury, the last time we rode was Memorial Day weekend. So that was like in September, or Labor Day weekend in September. And then we didn't ride again until February.
Yeah.
Which is the longest we've gone in a long time without riding. So
I was trying to show solidarity. Z was injured, so I didn't really want to go out and ride without her.
Yeah.
But it was hard.
When we were in New Orleans, you were suffering. I remember.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Actually,
do you want to talk about what happened?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know why, like how I got injured, but
you exercised too hard.
Yeah. I think I went too hard on the hit workouts.
Intensity workout. Too high intensity.
Too high intensity, then jump roping, and then sitting at your desk all day. Like that, all of those combinations is a bad recipe for lower back pain. So a lot of pressure on my lower back. I tried to stretch out as much as possible with everything and, yoga in between. But I think I was just doing too much on the HIIT. I did like 25 minutes of HIIT, and then I'd do 20 minutes of like straight just jump roping. Weighted jump ropes too. It's not just the light jump rope. They're weighted. So I think that's what did it. So I have 2 herniated discs, L5, S1 in my lower back.
And you're calmed down with it now?
It's calming down. Like, it's still aggravated a little bit. So I still have like tingling in my left leg from the sciatic nerve from it like hitting the sciatic nerve. But it's a lot better. I can say that I'll say 95% better, which is a big difference from December.
Yeah. How was it to ride with your injury like that? What was it like?
It's not
because
painful.
those bikes don't absorb everything. Your body absorbs a lot too.
Yeah. Oh, we have aftermarket shocks on it, so we have the high-end
That's true.
the shocks.
You have the good, you got the good shit.
Yeah, but it's the roads here in Dallas that are they're bumpy. They're bumpy roads. I can't explain it. It's just you're just riding down even in your car, you're just bouncing like this the whole time. So.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, so where did you go when you went riding?
Where did we go? Oh, we went to in February.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
February.
we didn't do a long ride. We just rode around here in North Dallas, and then we went to a barbecue spot for lunch. So,
But did it feel good? I saw a video of it. Did it feel good to ride?
Felt amazing. Like it really kind of was like, oh, this is what I miss. I miss this. But yeah, and then it's just been cold and winter here in Dallas, and there've been some great weekends. We just haven't had the time.
Yeah. Do me a quick favor, Ocean. On that, where it says on the window on the left-hand side of the screen, see that settings? I'm sorry, the right-hand side. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
See that settings icon?
Mm-hmm.
Click that. Do you hit cancel? All right. I was trying to see if I could get Sharon to where she would be able to just see the broadcast. Since I gotta,
know. I want to see you.
I got to change the host camera. But Sharon, it's funny. I was looking at your setup there, and that's a really nice mic and nice little backdrop and everything. I wanted to ask, how's it going with voiceover work? I know you've been doing some acting. I mean, how have things been going?
Good. So the setup that I have. So in the auditions that I do, they casting directors. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I have an agent, an official agent, by the way. So
Nice.
the way
Big
that
time.
they. Oh well. Okay. Oh, all right.
Yes.
Not yet. But the way that they want you to do auditions is to have a plain backdrop and have proper lighting and. Yeah, so I don't use this mic, obviously, because it's good enough to be able to use the mic that's associated with the camera. I have like one of those little shotgun mics that go on the top. But yeah, so I've last year got really busy in the background world. I was trying to find an agent to do voiceover work, and in the process of that was able to be on some different movie sets and TV show sets, and got really, really busy, and I loved it. But really the goal for all of that was a voiceover agent. I figured I would meet people who know people because that's kind of my love. I really wasn't thinking being on camera of any kind. I wanted to be able to audition for animation, and I took an animation class last year with Kari Walgren, who is the voice of many different characters. I mean, she's very well known. She's on Rick and Morty and video games, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, was have steady voiceover work to be on a series, and that still is my goal. But nice to know that this acting side has introduced me to people who got me into a place to be able to have an agent who also books for voiceovers. So it worked out, but I still do auditions for movies and commercials. I just did a Circle K audition and a McDonald's audition, and
Nice.
yeah, a bunch of different local commercials that are being filmed here and there. I mean, it's good practice for me. Especially, I just did one for Thrive Cosmetics.
Yeah.
It's very similar feel to voiceovers because you're kind of selling a little bit. So yeah, it's been really fun and creative, and I'm grateful for that side of my life because it helps to balance out the other side, which is, work and other things like that. So the have-tos of life.
Yeah.
But I know it's been surprising. I have not done as many voiceover auditions lately because we are required to be back in the office downtown 3 days a week now. And so my time is limited, and it's a little frustrating for that, because I've gotten very spoiled like an entitled child the past 5 years of being able to work from home. And the same job that I'm doing is what I'm doing in an office, but there's a collaborative energy they really want to help promote for us to be together. And so anyhow, it's fine.
Yeah,
But-
obviously you have a great voice. I've heard a lot of your work. I think you do a wonderful job. But what
Aw, Chuck.
was it specifically because, like, people told you, hey, you've got a great voice, you should do voiceover work? Or was that just something that, I don't know, that you were interested in doing? Or did it find you, or did you find it?
I don't think anyone's ever asked that question of me, so I have to actually think. Thanks for asking, Chuck. So I always liked voiceovers. I actually took voiceover classes before I had children, but becoming a mom, and just that was my focus. It kind of wasn't. It was just a side project, and I listened to a lot of audiobooks when I would be driving downtown to go to work, and just was curious, how do you become a narrator? Because sometimes I would hear a book and think that the performance was amazing, and then sometimes I'd be like, this is terrible. Really judgy and kind of like miserable. I don't know. It's a very funny thing where someone's voice can really hit you right, or it just doesn't. And it's very subjective, and I don't take it personally because I don't mean anything by it. But sometimes I'll hear a book and be like, I don't even want to listen to the rest of this. It's fascinating how that can be. Someone's voice and their performance can make or break a book, audiobook. So I just got kind of curious how you could do that, and I wondered if I could do it myself. And I set up, I Googled actually how to do it, and I set up a website. And the first book I auditioned for, I got, and then didn't have any equipment. Like, I didn't know how to do it. I was freaking out. It was terrible. I was like, oh no, when is the deadline of this? And now I have to actually do this. So, but that happens to me all the time, where I have a desire to do something. I see if I can do it, and then somehow if it works, then I actually have to figure out how to do it. I just kind of test it to see if I can, and then I'm like, wait a minute. So that's kind of how that happened with the book. And so I got all the equipment, and I started working on it in my closet, and then did that for several years, 6 or 7 years. And then right behind me actually is where my booth is that I use now for voiceovers. It's all got the soundproofing and the lights, and it's just perfectly set up for me to be able to record where I don't hear very much at all outside of that little booth. And it's been, did you lose me? Oh, my camera did something weird.
I know.
Am I here?
Yeah,
Oh.
you're here.
Yeah, it's adjusting. You're super washed out for a second, but it's good now.
I didn't
You're
know it would
good.
do that. Thanks, guys. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't have a mind of your own. It probably has AI all mixed in there, and it's like, stop talking. Just stop. We're going to stop this now. Probably. Anyhow, so yeah, I still really love doing voiceovers. I did one recently for a medical explainer video, and I am so proud of it, but they won't let me post it anywhere because it's kind of proprietary information on this explainer video of how this testing for prenatal care works. But it's beautifully done. They used an advertising agency, and I'm just like, oh, I sound smart. I said a bunch of medical terms. I was like, I gotta put this out there somewhere, but they won't let me yet. But yeah, I still do here and there. I just did one recently for someone local, and I was like, this is amazing that I can still contribute to my community, but then still be able to do some bigger projects. But
Yeah.
so I get that
So
creative
the answer
side.
is you found it.
Yes. Wait,
Yeah.
I could have just said that like 10
No, that was that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to hear how you came to do it. I mean, it's
I found it. I totally found it. That's a good point. I was curious, so I guess I did find it. But I still find it I know. I just did a voiceover for Shauna's company. That's what I did last week. I'm like, what did I do locally? Yeah, so one of our friends who we ride with or used to ride with, Shauna, they have a fitness app, and they wanted to make an explainer video for it. And so I did a Zoom call with them and had kind of the bullet points of things they want to talk about. So I wrote the copy and then recorded it and gave them several options of different ways and different lengths. And they seemed really happy with it. So it was a win-win, which is my favorite thing, of course, is like they get their business and I get my business, and, we help each other. It was really nice. And I was honored to be part of it. Honestly, it's like, I can't believe I get to be part of this new venture of yours. Thanks.
I know.
You sparked another thought in my head when you were talking about reading the medical information. I imagine it's hard to comprehend what you're reading when you're saying it out loud at the same time. So, like, whenever you're reading a book, do you know what's going on? Do you have to, like, read it ahead of time to be able to connect with it, or at least read a little ahead, or something along those lines?
I do read ahead a little bit. I don't read the entire book before I record it. My goal as I'm recording a book is to emote what the author is wanting. Like, this sentence is written a certain way for a certain emotion to come across. So my focus is on the acting side. It's not as much on the comprehension side, which is fascinating to note, because I know that I've read, I've almost done maybe almost 20 books maybe. And I know that I've read them. It's in my voice and everything, but I don't remember everything about the books, because my concern is, what is the point of the sentence? How do I want to act out this fight they're having? And if it's two women, making sure that there's enough of a distinction between the different pitches or cadences, the way I speak, so that the person listening will know that there are two different people speaking and when they speak. Yeah. So it's a different part of my brain that gets activated, not a comprehension part. I do know what I'm saying, but that's not my biggest concern is, oh my God, are you kidding? I can't believe this plot. I'm more like, okay, how am I going to make it sound good? And then the other thing that's fascinating that I didn't know that I did is that when I'm reading, when I'm doing an audiobook and I'm reading the sentences, sometimes my brain will transpose words or replace a word with another word. Even if the sentence is the same meaning, that's not the word that they wrote. and I didn't know that, because I go back and I listen and make sure, and I read along to make sure that I've said everything correctly before I send the file to the author. And I'm just like, where did that word come from? Yeah. And sometimes I don't even catch it, and the author will catch it. And I'm just like, Sharon, what's going on? So it makes me wonder how much I read just as a normal reader and just kind of fill in blanks or add words that somehow mean more to me. I didn't even know I did that. So, that was fascinating little side
That's
note.
Interesting. Yeah.
I know. My brain is fascinating. I'm fascinated by myself.
Yeah, you're right about some people's voices you just don't resonate with you when they're reading when they're reading a book. So it's but then there's the ones that there's a lot of so for instance, Stephen King has this series, The Dark Tower, that we listen to when we were driving to Sturgis in the truck with the trailer behind us. And it's from Georgia, it was a 24-hour drive. From Texas, it's a 16 or 18-hour drive, something like that. And so we listened to, and they're long books. And there's this guy, I forget his name, who's the narrator.
Is he an actor?
I don't
think like a famous actor.
No, but he is famous in the book world. I don't remember his name off the top of my head either. If I happen to remember it, I'll say it. But I like him. He's very good.
Yeah. And so you know how Stephen King's, he's just very good. He's just a very good author. So when he writes, he'll write with different, and this book has different races and all that kind of stuff. So it's just funny to hear him talk like a black lady, right? And
Yeah.
her tone and like saying what she says, and I'm just like,
Oh,
it's so
Lord.
funny. I love it.
I had to
Yeah.
come up with a voice for one of the books that I had that was like a Jamaican woman, and the author was like, "Can you do a Jamaican accent?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I'm like, "Oh shit,
Can I?
do a Jamaican accent?" I was like, "Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Yeah." So anyway, she was like, "I don't need it to be perfect. I just need it to give the feeling." And I was like, "Maybe I can fake it." So like, I went on YouTube and I listened to person after person after person speaking just to kind of download the voice sound.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Were you like,
oh, I can't imagine a guy like trying to sound like.
oh my gosh, were you like Bumba Clot?
No, is that like a Jamaican?
Everything Irie, man.
Close. It was past.
I have
She
zero.
was okay with it.
I
The
have
author-
zero Jamaican accent.
You actually sounded pretty good just
no.
now. You could have done a book. I'm telling you, you're better than the way I did it. I was like, okay. It was just like a side character. It was like a friend of a friend, and
Okay.
I just remember like freaking out a little bit. I just want her. I want the author to be the happiest person. That's who I want to please the most.
Yeah.
So if she's fine with it,
Right.
then hooray. But yeah, I try not to get too many challenging characters like that. I can do a few accents. I can do like a New England accent. I can do a Southern accent.
Ooh.
I know, because I
England.
lived in Massachusetts and I kind of channel my cousin, and that's
Yeah.
how I get the voice in my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as like,
the car.
I don't know. That's exactly, girl. Look at you and your accents. You did it great.
Stop.
Yeah, like you're from Boston.
I'm just quoting lines from movies.
Is that Ellie? I just now
Yes.
see Ellie next
Yes,
to you.
it's
Is she
Ellie.
doing okay?
She is. Her breath is stinky as usual.
Per usual. Yeah, it's
Misses me.
Yeah, she does.
it was interesting to me because I've wanted to ask you some of those questions for a while, coming from the film side, which you're now experiencing, right? So you see it. You're seeing the difference in the audition type when it comes to what you're doing with voiceover work with versus acting. Because whereas actors, it's like, well, unless you're up and coming, you kind of have to take what you can take. But most actors now will go, well, if the script speaks to me and I've got a good pay for play offer. But no, if the script, speaks to me, then I'm going to do that work because that work speaks to me, right? Whereas and a voice actor, that's not always the case. Although I do think that when the two align, when your interest and your work kind of mesh, it's probably pretty cool. Like when you worked for Harley, that was
That was the best. That was
I
one
bet.
of my that voiceover. It still is like the pinnacle of joy for me, because of that very notion, Chuck, is that there were like worlds colliding for me, and I just talked about that recently. How happy that made me, and it's interesting, Chuck, because I was very lucky to be on a voiceover panel for the Metro Atlanta Film Summit that they have here every year, and I met with a million different kinds of people in the film industry in different levels, and it made me think of you because you obviously are kind of associated with that world as well, given your screenplay writing that you've done. You would have fit just perfectly into that space. And also interestingly, I did not know that I do this in auditions, but I've gotten so used to quickly doing a voiceover, a 30-second piece, or even auditioning. Sometimes I'll do 10 auditions a night. I'm in and out of different characters. I'm a mom, I'm a friend, I'm a medical explainer person. I don't stay, but what I didn't realize is that it's not really a habit. Maybe it is a habit that I can't do that when I'm doing acting auditions. I need to stay in this character for an extended period. And I didn't realize that that was something I had to kind of switch over to. So that was interesting too, to note about myself, that I'm kind of like, I'm not as married to a character when I'm doing voiceover. It's like I'll be a friend for 30 seconds, sure. I'll be like a dental assistant, explaining toothpaste for 30 seconds. But I haven't had to stay in a character for a long period, and I've really discovered that my brain, the way I need to approach it is very different with acting, because it is a whole scene, and I'm the beginning and the end, and the everything about this character needs to be embodied by me. And I hadn't really done that in a long time, so I'm getting that muscle kind of worked out for sure. And I took a class here in Atlanta. It's called Atlanta Hollywood.
Yeah, heard of it.
Yeah, they have a class called the Warner Laughlin technique, which is a different way of approaching auditioning and acting. And so I'm learning so much, and so I'm just having a lot of fun with it, but I'm also learning a lot about me and the way that I've been able to kind of function. And there hasn't been a downside to my doing voiceovers where it's been quick to get in and out of character, but completely different mindset. Oh yeah, I forgot. I had also was on a Fatal Attraction show, which comes out in a couple weeks, and I was
perfect for you.
Oh. Why? Because I have like nefarious characters in my life.
You've dealt with a couple of stalkers in your time.
Yeah. So, but this was really fun because.
Hey, Sharon, I'll pay you $1,000 to go camping with you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Sorry. Had to.
I wonder would I take $1,000 for some psycho to come camp with me? That would be no.
That's not enough.
I forgot about that. I put things out of my head where I'm like, I'm fine. Fine.
Listen,
I'm fine.
People don't spend $1,000 to sleep in a tent.
Right.
Oh, really? Are you sure, Chuck?
That's not what he's paying for.
You'd have to pay a whole lot more than $1,000.
Oh, I'm not saying that he's going to get what he's paying for. I'm not saying that that's your price tag. I'm saying that's what's in his head.
Right.
I mean, it's like, hey, $1,000 to go camping with me? Yeah.
He was like, be my girlfriend. Be my girlfriend for the weekend.
Yeah, because I'm that desperate. Okay, thank you.
I have blocked him. I forgot all about him. I have blocked him on every which way you can block people. So
good.
It's just
were you insulted? Be like, $1,000? Oh my God! Is this speaking to your poverty or my value? What is going on?
Is that all you can afford?
It's either
insulted on so many levels.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that I had someone walk me to my bike that night because I was very unhappy.
Yes.
Yeah, I was kind of scared of this guy.
For sure.
I just did not like it. And then I was angry that I felt like I needed someone. And then I took Krav Maga. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
But anyway, being on this Fatal Attraction set, I was a detective, and it was for 2 days. And that was so much fun because I did get into that character in a different mindset. Like I felt so serious about what we were doing. It was a sacred thing. It was a real person's life that we're emulating and, dramatizing. But all of those things are things that I think you both would have loved to have been part of too. I can see you in that world. I mean, you all have that same energy, I guess. And not only just in the creative side as far as being an actor, but you have done so many wonderful projects from all these different rides that you've done and filmed. And you have all the equipment. You've got all the stuff.
Yeah.
You're in the same vein as me.
Yes.
Did you have someone come to your house recently and film all about? Are you allowed to talk about it yet?
Yeah. I don't know when it's getting.
Said it.
I have no idea when it's getting released, but yeah, there was a documentary film crew that came to Texas. I wrote a letter a long time ago to some film executives, and I guess it got passed around, and then they found it, they liked it, and they came into town to film like a little segment on me and Z, talking about what I was doing at that point in time in the film world and where we're at now. Well, I mean, so it was interesting.
You're brushing over it. It's an actual thing, right? It's
supposed to be like, I think it's going to be like a Netflix show, I think.
Well, that's not what
allegedly.
Talking about like so it's a book called Found,
yeah.
And it's really interesting, Sharon. Like he puts together so people send him notes or like a sticky or like a letter somebody wrote, something that they found just randomly, and they send it to him, and then he publishes it in this book. So the book is just full of like photocopies of people's like a diary entry or a letter they wrote to someone or a letter that they wrote in high school to someone, or it's just random things that are found. So if you find anything while you're out and about on the street, like keep it. It might be, something that gets published in the book. Send it to him. It's really cool.
They have a whole stage show that they do with it as well, where they come in and they've got a couple of musicians and actors and magicians. One of them was on the show, swallowed one of my sides. It was weird.
Yeah.
I'll be releasing that before too much longer, but they'll read these notes on stage, and because some of them are so damn funny, it's like, comical. You laugh, and then others are tragic. But mine happened to be one where I guess somebody printed the email that I sent them out, and it was basically just me talking about the challenges of trying to break into the writing side. I did acting originally, but I didn't really like it, and I like writing. So I was trying to break into it from that direction, and I was just expressing myself in an email to a producer, and I guess they printed it and it got passed around and lost or something.
Yeah. And someone found it and sent it to Davey Rothbart. And what he does, so on the back end, he kind of highlighted some of his favorite stories or his favorite moments or his favorite found items. And he took that and went kind of like around the country and interviewed those people if he could find them, right? So Chuck was one of those people.
Think about all that has to happen for all of that to come about.
I know.
Right? First of all, even just the impetus to write a letter like that.
Yeah.
Taking the step to do it. And then having someone find it compelling enough to actually send a whole film crew out and get to know you and Z. And I mean, that's not the first time some really magical things have happened to both of you.
Yeah.
Like the Harley deal that you all had.
Yeah,
that whole segment was so amazing and beautiful. Beautifully filmed and special. And I mean, you just have, I don't know, there's like an energy, is it like a star quality energy? I don't know what it is, but.
Yeah, we rock stars.
Oh, me too.
Of course.
Sure. No, but I'm just saying there's like, I don't know, it's not the first time something really special and compelling has happened. And, that's really cool. Do you know when it comes out or anything else about it?
I don't. You know how those things work. It's like development hell. Then you got to go find the distribution. But again, I think he mentioned that it was going to be on some streaming platform. I think he said that. But it may not be. But he still has to sell it. So you go around, you film all these segments, you get a little bit of money to do that part of it, and then you take it out to different streaming platforms or networks, and you try to sell it to them, and then they distribute it, etc.
Yeah,
understood.
Yeah, so it's a process, but it was cool that they enjoyed it enough to come out and talk to me. It was interesting it's almost like a little bit of a window, right? Because I remember when I sat down to write that email, exactly the frame of mind that I was in and how frustrated I was.
Clearly enough to write something to people.
Yeah. But it's cool. I think one of the cool things about it, and this is something that I still have, I love to write, but I don't always fully understand whether it resonates or not. And to have written just an email that affected people that way was interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That's so emotional.
It is.
Even the notion of having a little window into who you were at the time.
My gosh.
And then comparing and contrasting, where you are now and what your aspirations were then. And
oh my gosh, so emotional.
It was interesting because one of the questions that I think they asked me, or maybe I'm not sure if I volunteered it, but it was, what would you tell that guy that wrote that?
Yeah.
What would you go back and say to him?
Exactly.
And I,
oh, damn.
Yeah. And I think it's funny because you know both. I know me in that moment and how I could not see the path and where I am now in the path that I've traveled. And so I think what I said is I just tell them, hey, it's all good. You're going to be okay.
I know.
It's actually going to turn out way better than you thought. Yeah, maybe not right now. You're worried about whether or not you're going to be able to make this movie or whether you're going to get it bought or whatever it is. But really, that's the symptom of you being more worried about your life in general. And I was very concerned, and I'm way happier than if I would have sold that screenplay. I'm way happier in general than if I would have actually managed to go live that particular fantasy. I don't even know if I was mature. It was only I was like my 20s, late 20s, early 30s. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that long ago, but I was probably not ready for it. So, to be honest, I don't know if the personality traits I had need to be magnified at that point in my life. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying, because if I had started out in the corporate world maybe 30 years ago or something, as opposed to 10 years ago or 13 years ago now, I would have been a different person then, interacting in an environment that maybe I wasn't emotionally ready for or could navigate well. It's hard to know, but I would say that the idea of trust that probably was fostered in understanding that nuance about your life, where you were then and where you are now, and trusting that you actually ended up where you're supposed to be, and you know yourself enough to know that this actually brings you a much more peaceful and fulfilled life than what you may have had before.
Yeah.
It's something I want to take from that story, as having trust in the process of what I think I want, what I think is going to make me happy, and then what ultimately winds up happening. Because I would love to steer my own ship and be like, this is what I want, and this is how I'm going to get it, and this is what is going to happen. But the fight to get something to happen, I definitely have learned to surrender and just, I'm not fighting what I can't even control anyway.
Right.
But there's something really sweet about knowing that what you experienced and realizing where you are now is a better place. That's something I want to keep in mind as I'm trying to, because I'm looking for a new job. I'm looking to leave, this company I've been with for 13 years and change up a lot of different parts of my life. And it's like beating my head against a wall a little bit. It takes a lot of time and lot of energy and a lot of people not responding when they say they will. And I'm just like, well, I cannot make this happen, because I would make it happen today if I could. And the fight is on. And so I guess I love that story, as knowing that there are bigger forces behind some of the inner workings, so I like that. I'm going to live with it.
and I think the greatest one of those forces is you. That's the thing that I think I've found. I just turned 49. I'll be 50 next year, and getting older. Thinking about life in general a little bit, but no, I'm just teasing. But no,
okay, good. I was
I got a while to go.
Spirit,
I got a while to go. But no, I think that the greatest lesson I've learned so far is that I'm gonna be okay. Like, no matter what, the world has thrown a lot of things at me in my life, and thrown a lot of things at Z and I, and yet it's not fun when it happens. But on the other side of it, we're all right. Like, I don't think I think that knowing that you can overcome, and that once you understand what it takes to challenge adversity, to meet it head on, that you just have to put one foot in front of the other. Tomorrow's going to come one way or the other.
Yeah.
The other option is not desirable. So what are you going to do? Just get up and just kind of keep moving forward. And I refuse to be bullied, accept that you're going to make a decision to win one way or the other. And you get to decide what winning is, right? Like, you can set it for this big thing in the sky where I'm going to be, cash a $10 million check in 5 years because I'm an actor now. Or you can go, what, I got to a place where whenever I go to sleep at night, I'm happy. Like, I put my head on the pillow and I feel good about what I did that day. I feel good about the people in my life. And I think both are just as awesome. So it's good learning that. And I think I wish that upon everybody, is that they learn that they actually can decide, and they can choose how they're going to move forward.
I know.
Anyways.
It's like that joke we just saw the other day. It's like, I never heard a crackhead say I don't have money for smoking today. So don't let a crackhead out hustle you.
Yeah, don't let a crackhead out hustle you.
But I need to eat. Interesting.
Well, I mean, isn't that what it is, though? Like, isn't that life in general? And I'm sorry, I'm being a little philosophical, but it's like, if you're hungry, you need to have food. So figure out how to get food.
Yeah.
If you see what I'm saying? Like, don't sit around and wait for somebody else to go get it for you. Just go ahead and take ownership. Oh, I got to find my food today.
Yeah.
What I like is something that you said about the definition of success and being able to put your head down at night and knowing that what is that phrase? It's like no pillow is so soft as a clear conscience, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do feel like at the end of the day, for now, I haven't had to compromise too much, and I don't plan to, but there is something very sweet about knowing that I can face myself, I can face whatever higher power there is at the end of the day, and know that I did the best I could, and that if I wronged someone, either I didn't know it or I'd be happy to make amends, but like knowing that I have done the best I can in terms of what my standard of ethics is and what my success definition is. There is something to be said about that. And I haven't always been able to say that. So that I think is a highly valued space I'm in. And I hadn't really heard it the way that you said it.
Well, I think you're successful, Sharon. I mean, think about it. You've recorded 20 books. You're an actress now. You've got Business Radio X, which is a phenomenal show that you do. You're a mother and you're a great friend. I think you're a very successful person. So congratulations.
This is my show now. You made it all about me. Can I tell you? Thank you. I'll tell you all the things I think about you guys. Some of the things that I think are really great about you guys is that you haven't, despite whatever things have happened since you've moved, you still ride. You still value each other. You still push forward. You still have plans. You're resilient. And that's something that that's one of the traits I wanted or characteristics I wanted my kids to really adopt is resilience, because life, even doing all the right things, life will knock you down. But being able to know how to get yourself back up, and even if it's a different direction, pivot or whatever it is you need to do,
100%.
That's what you all are doing, and still like super fun to talk to.
Thank you.
Well, we miss you. And
I miss you guys very much.
Can't wait to have you back on. Really, really, truly, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I've enjoyed the conversation.
I feel like I didn't talk to you guys enough about you. Like, didn't.
It's not about us.
We're not here to be interesting. We're here to be interested.
Interested.
Oh, damn. I'm going to use that on Business Radio X. It'll be a Chuckism. I'll be like, don't ask me
that's not a Chuck original. I've heard that somewhere.
Oh, it's not? Oh. Damn, it's a Sharon original. That's what it is. Well, I miss you guys so much. And somehow, some way, we have to get together and ride again.
Oh, yeah,
we do.
However we can work
Soon.
it out. I would love to.
All right, girl.
My camera just ended.
Perfect timing.
It's back on again. I don't know what it's doing, but
it's saying psych.
Yeah. Are you done? It's AI, I'm telling you.
Thanks, everybody. We're out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.